Lewis Hamilton shattered Toto Wolff's heart to a million pieces when he chose someone new. The question now is, does Toto have the strength to move on? There's plenty of drama to be had last Thursday with Formula One's breakup of the century. Hamilton revealed his plan to cash in on a clause in his Mercedes contract, allowing him to depart from the team after the 2024 season. This decision paved the way for a transfer to Ferrari in 2025. Mercedes team boss Toto Wolff seemed as taken aback as we were by this sudden loss of love. According to Wolff's comments to the Associated Press, Hamilton told him about the decision just one day before making it public. Wolff mentioned that he had been hearing rumors about Hamilton's potential departure, but he didn't have confirmation until the Formula One champion himself brought it up during a breakfast meeting on Wednesday at Wolff's residence in Oxford, England. Surprisingly, just a day after their discussion, Hamilton went ahead and formally activated the clause in his Mercedes contract, sealing the deal with Ferrari. Both transitions have already been confirmed through official announcements. Toto said, "The surprise was that I've heard the rumors a couple of days earlier, but wanted to wait for the breakfast we had planned, and it was Wednesday morning, and this is when he broke the news. But, you can be very straightforward with me, because I'm very straightforward too. So once he said, 'This is what I'm trying to do,' that was the fact. I didn't try to convince him otherwise. In the future, we will discuss whether this could have been done in a different way or not, but I hold no grudge." Toto was having a hard time processing the loss. After all, it is the biggest breakup in his professional career, and maybe even in the sport's history. When he first heard the news, this was what came to mind. When he told me first, my next thought was pragmatic. What does it mean? When are we communicating this? What are the pressure points? How are we managing it this season going forward? And what is it we're going to do in terms of driver lineup? The team's mind kicked in. Now, having slept a few nights on it, it means that our professional journey comes to an end, working together, but it doesn't mean that our personal relationship ends. I've found a friend. We've built a relationship over the last 10 years. He faced a very, very difficult situation, taking a decision of where to drive, maybe for the first time in 10 years without being able to brainstorm with me. Therefore, I will always respect the difficulty of the situation that he faced. Hamilton inked a fresh 2-year deal with Mercedes last summer, so Wolff finds it puzzling why the Brit has had a change of heart, especially considering his previous commitment to Mercedes just a couple of months ago. When we signed the contract with Lewis, we opted for a shorter term, so the events are not a surprise, maybe the timing. I cannot tell you exactly what has changed. We were very aligned when we went into the Christmas period, and I think we've said that in public and in the team. You need to ask Lewis why he changed his mind. How he framed it to me is perfectly understandable, that he needed a new challenge, that he was looking for a different environment, and that it was maybe the last possibility to do something else. We're big boys. We knew that by signing a short-term contract, it could be of benefit for both sides. We couldn't commit for a long period, and he's taken the option to exit. And we totally respect that you can change your mind. There are different circumstances, and switching for Ferrari maybe for the last bit of his career, maybe rolling the dice a little bit, I can follow that decision. Clearly the timing was surprising to us, but I guess what he tried to do was maybe to give us a long time to decide what we want to do next year going forward. Wolff also mentioned that Mercedes now has the luxury of time to carefully consider their options for a new driver to pair with George Russell next year. He compared Mercedes' current situation to when they had to quickly address the departure of Hamilton's former teammate Nico Rosberg, who retired from Formula One just days after clinching the title in 2016. I always like change, because change provides you opportunity, and in the same way we've embraced the Nico situation, he said. And that was equally like from one moment to the other, unexpected. Since 2021, Hamilton hasn't secured a race win, with his last opportunity being during that year's season finale in Abu Dhabi, where he narrowly lost out on the title to Verstappen in a controversial manner. Mercedes has faced challenges in adapting to the reintroduced ground effect aerodynamics for the 2022 season, with Russell's victory in Sao Paulo that year marking the team's sole win since then. Looking ahead to 2026, which would mark Hamilton's second season under a multi-year deal with Ferrari, a new set of regulations is anticipated to shake up the grid. Even though the 2024 season is still a month away, Hamilton's early announcement has sparked concerns that he might face marginalization within the team this year, potentially with teammate George Russell receiving preferential treatment. But Wolff has reassured the media of his dedication to treating both drivers equally. He emphasized that he harbors no worries about Hamilton sharing Mercedes' technical insights with his new team in 2025. "I think what I've always tried to do as a team principal, and all of us at Mercedes, is to be transparent and fair, and nothing's going to change in that respect in 2024. We owe it to our principles and our racing intent, how we go about racing, and we will respect that. And I will ensure that the drivers will respect that. In terms of the development going forward, I think this is something which we need to look at. The regulations stay pretty much the same, and when it comes to 2025, we will evaluate later in the season what it means in terms of technical information. But that's not something that bothers me at all. We have engineers that leave us and go to other teams, and the notice periods are sometimes as short as 6 months. So I don't have any doubt about Lewis's integrity in terms of sharing information in that respect. I just want to make sure, we want to make sure, that this is a successful season for both drivers and a successful season for Mercedes. All of us will give our utmost to achieve that." Wolff is ready to tackle the task of balancing Mercedes' priorities with Hamilton's, confident that both the team and the driver will maintain a harmonious working relationship, at least until their separation at the end of 2024. He elaborated, "It's definitely a new situation to manage, for Lewis and the team, but it is something that when you focus on the really short term, and this is the racing team that's been deployed to run the product, it doesn't have a big impact on everything that's happening going forward on the development side. I'm always interested in new and challenging situations, and I'm balancing 2024 Mercedes interests versus 2025 driver interests. It's something that we will openly discuss at the beginning, how to manage that, and for sure come to a good outcome between us." Carlos Sainz has been labeled as the deal's biggest loser. Despite being the only non-Red Bull driver to win last year, and outperforming Charles Leclerc overall during their time together as teammates, he has been left with no place to call home. But he should be happy that if anyone kicked him out, it's one of the sport's greatest. F1 reporter Lawrence Barretto wrote that, "Carlos Sainz is the collateral damage to the biggest F1 news story to break out in the 21st century, the Spaniard having arguably been the strongest Ferrari driver during his so far 3-year partnership with Charles Leclerc. However, he can at least take comfort in the fact that of all the drivers to usurp him, it's the most decorated driver the sport has ever seen. And he hits the market with his stock riding high, the Spaniard the only non-Red Bull driver to win a Grand Prix in 2023. Sources say Sainz has a good relationship with Mercedes boss Toto Wolff, and there have been multiple conversations between his management team and the Silver Arrows over the last few years. The equivalent of a straight swap would make sense for both parties. What do you think? Did Lewis Hamilton approach the breakup properly, or does Toto Wolff have every right to feel betrayed? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell for the hottest F1 news.